Hello and welcome to another Driven Catalyst live stream. It's my favorite day of the week, New Release Friday, New Music Friday. I botched that. It's New Music Friday. I'm going to talk through the new releases I listened to today. I don't have notes that are as in-depth, so we are going to do a summary. I thought that was like a fun play on words pun. It's summer. We're going to be a little bit laid back with it. And I'm just going to summarize kind of what I've listened to, and then we're going to walk through my most recent liked songs on Spotify, because last week I was out of office, so we didn't do a New Music Friday last Friday, but I certainly have like recent music that I've been listening to and loving. So I figured it'd be like fun to go through my liked songs, because there haven't been... I guess, like, there hasn't been an album in the past... Let me not speak on that. There's been a lot of good new releases. I guess I just haven't been as in-depth with some of my notes recently. And so I just feel like this is probably the best approach. That way I'm not just speaking and not really contributing anything. I'm just trying to be wary of that. So first and foremost, I listened to an EP from Florence Road. This is one of the new releases, and I've never heard of Florence Road, haven't ever listened to any of their work, and I'm excited to say that I'm going to now. This was I judged the book by its cover moment. I thought that the band promo picture header on Spotify looked really cool, and their album art from these singles for this EP are all super duper cool. This is the first release from them. Okay, so they have one single released in 2022 called Another 17, and then this EP and all of the singles they've rolled out for it have been kind of the first formal EP release, it looks like. Let me read an artist bio if there is one. Also, short and sweet artist bio. All there is Florence Road, but you can call us Flo Row, which I have to say, I love that. We've got 315,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. And I will say, I think I pretty much immediately saved every song from this new EP. I really liked it. It's exactly the vibe of music I listen to. The new EP is called Fall Back. It's 5 songs, 16 minutes and 34 seconds long. And I think maybe Heavy was my favorite. Do I have any notes? I don't have any notes. I don't know that I picked a favorite. It was a pretty tried and true EP listen for me, honestly. It was exactly what I wanted. The album art is great. The vibe is perfect. I saved every song from it. And so I'll basically just be getting back to you as time continues and I continue to love this EP. Because this is not fake. I'm really enjoying doing these New Music Friday live streams, because I genuinely am using this as an opportunity to find new music, and then I continue listening to it in life. So that's part of why I want to go through my liked songs. I think I may go through my phone screenshots too, because every so often I'll be driving and just shuffling liked songs. And if it's been a New Music Friday release that I've covered recently, I'll screenshot it to remember, like, oh, hey, this one came back in circulation and I'm loving it again on second or third or whatever time listen it is, as it's coming back up again. And I'm enjoying it. I try to make a note of it. Okay. Next on the list, Haim put out a new album today, and I don't listen to a lot of Haim, which is pretty crazy because they are right in that niche of music and artists that I really like. I don't really know why. I've never really sat down and dug in, but today I did. And I'm so glad I did. I really love their whole album. This is kind of why I realized I couldn't do in-depth. I didn't go in-depth with my notes because I found myself just kind of sitting and listening and enjoying. I do have some immediate saves marked, and I have some notes, so I will work through those. First thing I did notice, though, just as someone who works with copywriting and design, that we aren't all lowercase. Like the new trend is to do all lowercase with title tracks or basically any sort of writing on the internet. I feel like a lot of people from my generation, our generation, Gen Z, if you will, writes in all lowercase right now. This is not that. It's also not title case. So basically so the album is called I Quit, and then every single track on the album follows this, where only the first word of the album, or only the first word of the track is capitalized, and then the rest is not. Which I found interesting. I don't know if there's a rhyme or a reason for it, but it stood out to me. I noticed it, so I figured I'd share that with you. From my understanding, this may be a divorce album. I skimmed an Atlantic article, and I know through like peripheral avenues, there are artists that I am like vaguely parasocial with that are, of course, affiliated or friends with Chaim, and so every so often I like know little tidbits of personal life, background context. So from my understanding, this is one of the they're all sisters. Two of them are sisters. See, I kind of don't know. And I will remedy that. I feel like I can really see myself locking in and listening to way, way more. And I'm a little embarrassed I haven't done it sooner. But from my understanding, this has some divorce album undertones, and that comes through lyrically for sure. I have written for one of the notes, so for the song Take Me Back, which is track... Track 5. I have reflective and chaotic in a dance pop way. I think if I really reflect on the album, like, casually, I guess, or just sort of at a glance, I feel like this was my favorite. But I wrote down, this is what I want the new Lorde album to be. I think like this is like the vibe that I like, and I guess it felt a little bit pure heroin in some... I don't think sonically that's like a fair comparison. I don't think they're in the same neck of the woods, tonally maybe even, or they don't sound similar. I'm not saying that at all. I think in terms of my listening experience and the moments that I prefer to have music like this for, the same moments that I want like a melodrama or a pure heroine Lorde moment, I feel like this fills that too, which is huge, right? If you are a Lorde stan like I am, like most of the world is, having something that fills that hole is a big deal. And so I just made a note of that. I was pretty stoked about that song. Gone is the first track on this album, and the guitar immediately pulled me in. It was one of those things where I try and skim albums when I do my New Music Friday, when I work on my lineup. I'll sort of skim and figure out whether or not it's going to be the right fit to lock in and really make notes on. And I wasn't sure. I knew like Chaim was it's like I knew the odds of me liking it were pretty high, but I think I only have one song, or maybe I have 1 to 3 songs saved from the entire Chaim discography, which just really doesn't make sense considering, like, all things considered. But so I wasn't sure if this was going to be the right fit for me to sit and listen to all the way through. And as soon as I heard basically the first few seconds of the first track, I was like, okay, yes, we're listening to the whole album. I'm excited about it. I'm here. And that feeling continued throughout. All Over Me, I saved immediately. That I have marked as an immediate save. Relationships is a song that I had heard already, so I know that's like a single that was put out. What's crazy is I feel like I've heard it for a while now. So I am curious when it came out, if this was like the first single. Let me put a date on when that came out, if I can. Yeah, March 12th. Okay. Yeah, okay. So we've had it for a couple months, which does make sense to me when I'm thinking about how familiar and played it feels to me. Down to Be Wrong was another favorite. I have a timestamp 225, the rhythmic downstrums of the guitar I really loved. Take Me Back, I'm working through my notes sequentially. I've already talked about Take Me Back, that I think was my favorite. And then The Farm, I have one of the lyrics written down. The distance keeps widening between what I let myself say and what I feel. I really liked that. And then Cry. I just have Cry written down because I liked that track a lot. And that's all I have for I Quit. But it is an album that I highly recommend you listen to. It's one of those things that I almost feel like I don't have to tell you to go listen to it, because I almost felt like obligated to listen to it, just because I just felt like, okay, for sure, I'll probably like it. And I feel that way about all of their music usually. But I haven't ever really taken the time. And I'm grateful I did. So this is me encouraging you to take the time to listen to some Haim, if you haven't. Okay, and then Lorde put out a new single today. It's for her new album. It's called Hammer. I have no notes on it. It's not... I don't want to speak too much in depth about how I'm feeling about this upcoming album, because I know I have such high hopes that once I sit and get to listen to the album in its entirety, I know it will have its moment. I will feel great. I will continue to listen to it. I had a lot of skepticism, as I feel and have seen online a lot of people did, about Solar Power. And as the tracks have become more and more lived in, I like the album a lot. I think that is, of the Lorde albums, probably the one that has gotten not as much love as I think it could have. And I feel like right now, I don't know if the singles that are coming out from the new Lorde album are for me. And that, I think, is okay, because they are absolutely for someone. And I have really liked them. I don't know. I love Lorde. I love Lorde. And I'm really excited for this new album, no matter what. I'm excited to see what it will be. I guess just the production that I've listened to so far is different from what I really love about her previous work, is what I'll say, I guess. So I'm excited and interested to step outside that box and listen to what she's cooking up now. And I'm all for it. That's what I'll say. But yeah, I don't have any notes about Hammer. New release, though, I would be remiss not to at least shout it out, mention it, because I think we're all sitting and waiting and excited for new Lorde. That's a given. And then I started listening to this next album that I'm going to mention. It's called Just Kiki, and it's from our queen, Keke Palmer, who I did not know had albums on the record. She's got albums out. This new album, I listened to probably a quarter of it, and I just love Keke Palmer as a person, as a star. That True Jackson VP was coming out as I was like 8 maybe, and getting to hear the Baby This Is Keke Palmer podcast ads in perpetuity Like for a year, she was everywhere. Every single interview I see Keke Palmer give, she's a hoot. She's so funny. She's so well spoken. Like, I love her. I literally love her. And there were just so many tracks that I feel like I hope get a lot of radio play. I feel like I'm talking about this weird and stilted and gross. Just like, I'm so excited to see like a queen having her day in the like, I don't know. I'm just obsessed. I'm obsessed. I think she's hilarious. And like all of the tracks on this album have such funny names or like just vibes to them. There's so much personality in it. And I'm going to listen to the rest of the album. I only started, I made it through like the first quarter. One side note that I will say is she has a track called What Would Sharon Say? And I did Google it because that is her, and found out that's her mom's name. But I Googled it because my mom is consistently recommending me listen to the podcast Sharon Says So. And so for a second I was like, is this a reference to, because I know that's like a pretty popular podcast. And so for a bit I was like, is this a pun? Is this Keke Palmer shouting out Sharon Says So? It's not. It's her mom's name. But I thought that was funny. And it made me feel seen because I was like, how funny that this song, this track title made me think about this podcast that my mom recommends to me when it actually is Keke referencing her mom. I was like, oh, we're having a mom moment together. So yeah, shout out Keke Palmer, shout out moms everywhere. And I like hope we hear this. I hope there are multiple songs of the summer on this album. What I listened to, it was fun. It was really fun and like sort of silly and like just a lot of humor in this. And I think the album art is super cool. It's Keke Palmer as a Barbie doll or just a doll. She looks beautiful. The album art is so cool. The font choice that we have, I'm obsessed with. I just love the aesthetic of this album. I love that Keke Palmer is giving us music. I love that so much of her sense of humor seems to be in it from what I've listened to. Like, I'm just so thrilled about that. So I just wanted to talk about that too. And then, so those are the new releases I listened to. And now I'm going to go through my liked songs of late. And then we'll wrap it up. Oh, okay. So first and foremost, Bison, I think it's Bison, has a song called Keeping Score. I had a friend send me a recommendation to listen to this track because he figured I would like the lyricism on it, and he nailed it. It is sonically exactly what I like to listen to, and the lyrics are so beautiful. So I have that as a recent save. I saved it about a week ago. Spotify is saying, really been loving that. Joy, we're taking the time to, I kind of breezed past this artist's name because I don't know how to say it right. But they're consistently featured on tracks that I love and enjoy, have some of the most beautiful harmonies. And I'm just going to remedy not knowing how to say the last name right now because it matters. Being a nurse means being focused on others. Post-university, can you hear? Okay. I never know if you can hear the noises that my Safari is making when I live stream. Okay. Wait, now I have this window muted, but the whole point is that it's not supposed to be muted because I need to listen to this. How do I unmute it? You guys, I feel like a teacher when they don't know how to enlarge the YouTube video. Okay, here we go. Olarakun. Joy Olarakun is the artist. And let me click through real quick. Gosh, yeah, just some of the most beautiful album art. If I go through singles, they're consistently collaborating with other artists that I love. And some of the best, most beautiful harmonies to come out of a song have come from songs featuring Joy Olarakun. That's what I'll say. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I have like such a peripheral knowledge of their work. And so there's a song called Jesus and John Wayne featuring, so it's Googly Eyes, Joy Olarakun, and one of my favorites, Alison Pontier. And it made me cry. It made me cry. Such a beautiful song. I'm pretty sure it was one of those releases too that where the music or the money from the release went to a good place. So that is a recent save of mine, and it was an impactful release at that. Man, and I guess at this point we're getting caught up with like my Shura New Music Friday. I'll scroll back a little bit, but we're pretty much caught up. I will tell you, I've continued to listen to the Sedona album, Getting Into Heaven, that I talked about a couple weeks ago. And it's made its way up to like most noteworthy releases that I've listened to and really loved this year. Baby Run and I think Deja Vu or Knock on Wood are songs that have come up quite a bit in my shuffling that I've loved. We've got another Audrey Hobart song coming out soon, right? Hey, maybe today. Yes, okay. That's homework I have to do. We'll do it together. Not on live, but I'm saying I'm going to go listen to this track, and I can promise almost that it's going to be a good one. Audrey Hobart, for those who don't know, works pretty closely and is best friends with Gracie Abrams. Gracie Abrams, one of my all-time favorite albums, has to be Secret of Us Deluxe. Absolutely great work. I love Gracie Abrams. I've become such a Gracie Abrams stan this year. For the unacquainted, Gracie Abrams, daughter of director J.J. Abrams and Queen of Our Hearts. She just is so phenomenally talented. And I adore her, and I adore the way she uses her platform. And as soon as Audrey Hobart, her co-writer, I think, right? I think they lived together, they write music together, or they did live together for a period of time. They write music together, they're besties, and Sumi released and immediately got the amount of love it deserves on TikTok, which I love. And Bowling Alley is the release from today that I haven't yet listened to, but can promise you will be good. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've slowly sunk throughout this course of this live stream because something is up with the gas lift on my chair, my office chair, and it's been an uphill battle, but I'm slowly sinking. But I guess that's it. This is my summary. I hope it was near enjoyable to listen to or watch. That's what I've been listening to. I recommend everything I listen to. Y'all go give Keke Palmer some love too. I don't know. I'm so stoked to know that she's putting music out. Also, just like any new thing from Keke Palmer, I get excited about because it means she's going to be doing press, and it means I get to watch her do press, which is one of my favorite things. She is just the funniest, most likable person ever, I think. So go stream Just Keke. Go buy it, stream it, support it. We got New Lord to listen to. We got Audrey Hobart to listen to. Cannot recommend the Haim album enough. And then the Florence Road Fallback EP is so exciting. And that is a new artist and new release that I just discovered. Be sure to circle back to my previous New Music Friday listens. Big love for Shura, still listening. And then Sedona. We'll shout out Sedona again because I'm still loving. Oh, and Ken Pomeroy, so good. Still blowing my mind. I haven't had that one come up on. I haven't had much of her music come up on shuffle as much, but it is music I've sought out pretty frequently still. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing, Flannel Cowboy. We love you. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna wrap it up. I hope you have a great Friday, great weekend. Stay safe. Enjoy. I will see y'all next week.